All right, you're going to go down by those two and count off your 100 squares and write the planets. And you two are. Today I asked the students to model the distance between planets so that they could understand that scientists need to model. I have split the class into two groups. I'm calling them out like 8 at a time to do the activity. The other half are working on measuring the diameters on paper planets. It's not a multiple curriculum. It's not like a split grade where I'd have to teach 3 different curriculums. Right away I'm going to tell you that's the wrong way to do multi-age. Do not try to teach 3 different curriculums.
One of the biggest misconceptions about multi-age is that people do think you're still teaching split grade classrooms like 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It is definitely not split grades where all the 3rd graders come together at one point and then all the 4th graders come together. It allows for flexible groupings. There's both heterogeneous and homogeneous groupings going on at times, and it's a wonderful continuum though to really see the progression of students, but it can't be just a cookie cutter. It's not a recipe. Curriculum has to be allowing for differentiation and allowing for developmental levels.
What we've done at Ideal is we've developed a 3-year cycle of curriculum. So everybody's learning the same thing in science, and everyone's learning the same thing in social studies. And that's not just within my unit, it's within the entire school. So right now, all of the school is doing a unit on space at their own developmental levels. That's why we have that rotation. We can mix the grade levels.
So at the primary level, they will get just the basis of our theme that we're doing at the time. And then what happens is they will get it again when they move to the elementary unit. They will build upon what we learned in our primary unit and get a little bit more in depth with that same theme. And then they will again get that same theme once they move on to middle school, and at that middle school level, they delve more into the information. The goal is by the time they leave 8th grade middle school, they have really mastered the themes.
Company attention!
Generals, take roll call, please.
Corporal Thomas Martin Warren, presenter.
I do not teach out of a book. I teach from simulations. I focus on American history from the very beginning of Native Americans coming here all the way to the Reconstruction after the Civil War. And I have a simulation for almost every unit that I have. It's all interactive. It's all them experiencing what somebody during that period of time would experience. And as you know, 5th and 6th grade, there are different levels of ability. They have different interests, different likes and dislikes. So some years I do certain activities, some years I don't. I pick and choose depending on my multi-age classroom to hit everybody's needs.
The textbooks are a guiding force, but they're not the driving force. I'm not stuck with the curriculum that's supposed to be age appropriate. We allow the children to grow and express themselves at the rate that they're ready to do.
I don't use textbooks day after day after day. I use them as a resource, as a planning guide. My role as a multi-aid teacher is to see how they teach it and get a sense of the developmental appropriateness of the content and the way it's written. A lot of our activities are now web-based. Our computers are completely integrated. And so I look for websites for the kids to view and multimedia to teach the same content.
And it's also so important with changing knowledge and access to knowledge, whereas textbooks, you're kind of stuck with what's there. We can have kids on the computer in every class as needed to support the curriculum. This has allowed our students to have better access to all sorts of information in order to master the curriculum.
We don't have it hit and miss. We have essential questions that we've developed for each level of each unit, so that we know that we're coherent in our delivery of the curriculum.
You're constantly looking back at the Common Core standards, and you're making sure that you're meeting the standards for all of the grade levels when you're planning your lessons.
Then I have ones that talk about what ancient Roman homes look like, sports and pastimes, and then there's a cool diary from a young girl. We just started ancient Rome on Monday. So in order to develop their background knowledge, I have a variety of books that are at different reading levels and different reading interest. The challenges are making sure that all students' needs are being met. You really need to make sure that you have materials available for everybody that will be scaffolded to a point where students will be successful.
I don't look at what a first grader has to know. I look at what do they need to know by the time they leave in second grade. And it gives the freedom for children who are behind to have the time developmentally to get to where they need to be. And the children who are ahead have the freedom to keep moving forward because they can go beyond what their second grade expectations are. There's so much more creativity to teach this way. It's a lot of work up front. It is. It's a lot of planning and it's a lot of assessing data and really driving from that. But the rewards are so great. We take our children and they understand the concepts and they're willing to take it to different levels. And they get multiple ways to show you what they know through their portfolios, their projects, their written assessments, their formal assessments, and you're getting consistent data no matter how they show you because they're excited to learn. That's powerful. Makes you want to get up and come to school the next day.